Hey, what is up, gang? It is Adam Smith, and it is MTG Switcheroo. Just kind of delaying things just a little bit to make sure we're live, because I always have hiccups here, and I don't want to get too far. All right, it does show we are live here. Okay, so what I'm working on today is a little bit of Yuriko. Just some upgrades from basically... I haven't changed Yuriko in a long time. And so now it's time to actually get some good upgrades because we had Kamigawa, had a ton of stuff in it. Not only that, I'm also doing like upgrades with land. So I'm going to put in some of the basic lands from Kamigawa because these just look freaking fantastic and it fits for what Yuriko is. And then I got some others. I had, I think, a little too many basics in this. And so, hey, what's up, Steven? How's it going, buddy? You're awake. So I'm going to get some upgrades going in there really quick. I just wanted to run through the deck just to kind of show you. I'm not going to go really long with it. I'm just going to go pretty quick through it all. Sorry, I'd have a drink there. Oh, and just so you're wondering, I am drinking a oatmeal stout. I don't want to tip it too much because I don't want to spill my beer. From Beaver Island. Pretty good beer. I know I'm pretty fancy, Steven. Mr. Dempsey. I don't know why I call you Steven. It's Mr. Dempsey. So, really quick how this deck is. I have a lot of evasive creatures. I did this deck years ago for our Spotlight decks, and it's just a lot of evasive creatures and a lot of setting the top. So, I have pretty much all the owls in here. So, they have the Scry 3 in there. This is more so hitting the higher casting cost things, but then also having the Evoke in there so I can use that. So, we got the ninjas in there, a couple, the dual land stuff. So here's my ninjas, more ninjas, some higher casting cost stuff. Jace is in there because of the look at the top. The brainstorm effect in there. So the draw 3 cards and put cards from your hand on top of in any order. So the thing about that is a lot of times I'll get the high casting cost stuff like, the big ninja in my hand. Getting multiple things that I can take what I have in my hand and put it on top and set it up. That's how you can kind of kick some ass. So we got some more ninjas there. So I talked about this in the Spotlight when it was first, when I first went over it. And the interesting thing about this is they changed the rules on this. I need new sleeves. I know. These are really old sleeves. I haven't changed this for a long time, and yeah, these just look like a ninja, so I thought it fit pretty good, but they are pretty old and jank right now. But the cool thing about this is it takes in the whole card. So it's not just 3, not just 4, it's the entire thing. So we have 7 total. So if Yuriko hits, and if you guys don't know what Yuriko does, when a ninja or Yuriko hits, reveal the top card of your library, and each opponent loses life equal to casting cost. So it's this whole card. And so that's why I have a couple of these split cards in there. Solum it's a lot of ETB effects. So the evasive creatures, a lot of times I'll have ETB. Just Solum works because if there's somebody that's open and I pop him back to my hand and I can keep doing that, or if he dies, it's fine too. But the coming into play, getting land helps. Commit to memory again. So we have 6, 4. So this is 10 damage total. Crystal Ball is scrying. That helps. Evasiveness. If this is a mega creatures control of flying, your opponent's control lose flying. So basically makes my creatures unblockable. So that's why he's in there. Another one, split card. Look at that one though. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage with Rags to Riches. Conspiracy just helps make my ones that are evasive turn into ninjas. So they're doing even more damage. Well, thank you, Mr. Dempsey. But you got to find cool ninja ones. If you can find cool, I'm sure they do. I haven't bought sleeves, I think, since pre-release a few years ago because I needed it for the pre-release. Other than that, I've gotten free ones that came with what was it? The big package deal from Channel Fireball during COVID when they were trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff that they, because they canceled all those events. That's the only other sleeves I got. So I do need to probably buy some. Aether Gale, this is just returning permanents so that I can potentially get through for my ninjas to hit. So kind of evasion in a way. So if somebody's open, I can kind of get through there. And by the way, Dempsey, I'm really excited. Lowry and I were talking about today. I was super excited for SmithCon. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, then you're not on the Discord. Ancestral Knowledge, this is a cool card because you can reset the top cards, look at your top 10 cards of your library, then remove any number of them from the game, put the rest on the back on top of in any order. So you can really set the top with that. Cumulative upkeep once, that's not a big deal there. Giving you unblockable stuff. Again, same thing as the others, making your creatures into ninjas, so that's pretty sweet there. More ninjas. This is just returning a creature to my hand, so that can help. Or other people's creatures, so that could help with that if they are all tapped out and they can pop something back to their hand. Unblockable, making your stuff unblockable. More ninjas. Soothsaying, this is also setting your top with that. Then we got ninjas. Helmhard Depths, I like that. This, if it's in your graveyard, your creatures are flying. Shadow, also when it leaves play, draw a card. So that's the really cool thing with this is it doesn't have the ETB, but it has the going through, doing damage, or about to do damage, you ninjutsu, it leaves play, and then you draw cards. So that's pretty sweet. This guy's unblockable and makes something else unblockable. So you can make one of your ninjas unblockable. This is just making your stuff unblockable and then drawing cards off of it. So that's even better. Another split card. Washout. A good way to get, maybe pick green and pop everybody's green to their hand, and then you're able to get through and, do some damage. Tapping all creatures. So you would think this would be bad, but you do this. It's instant speed, and you can return 2 islands to your hand instead of paying its cost. So that's pretty easy to do in this. Yeah, Crystal Shard. Lowry got me on that one, Dempsey, with that, and it's a pretty sweet card. But so this, right before it's about your turn, you drop this down. Everybody's stuff taps. And then on your turn, you get through and do tons of ninja damage. So that I haven't been able to do this one yet because it's been in here for not terribly long, probably a year. But I've never been able to play this yet. Cyclonic Rift, of course, you're playing a blue deck, so you're going to get that. Another Owl. We got Sensei's top, not the new one. I should get that art. This is my old proxy of this. I have a new one of that now. Mole Drifter, because you're hitting that 5 casting right there. Here's a counter spell, but that's not why it's in here. It's because it taps all creatures your opponents control. So it does a similar thing to the other one, but you do have the other things you can choose off of this, so that can help with that. But the main reason it's in here is tapping down all the creatures so your ninjas can get through. This is just unblockable. Filth does the same thing as the Wonder, so if it's in the graveyard, all mine get Swamp Walk. Another ninja. Losing Hexproof. I just like having Arcane Lighthouse in there. The Tower, because I do draw a lot of cards in here. This is a fun card. This guy went up because of Yuriko. But he has haste and shadow. And then whenever another creature is put into the graveyard from play, you may pay 1. If you do, return it to play. You pay 1 and it comes to play. But so it's 2, comes in, swings in. So you can immediately get your ninjutsu if you want. Scroll Rack, of course, that's just a must in here. Brainstorm, yeah, that's taking from your hand is perfect to do it that way. This gives unblockable and Shroud. This is because of the 7, and it would be nice. I have cast this to get an extra turn, but that 7 can be brutal. Baleful Strix, draw a card, evasiveness, death touch, has a lot of stuff on it. Is this one unblockable? Yep, that one's unblockable as well. Otherwise, I don't normally play lands like that, but this is perfect in this deck. This deals, so it has kind of evasion with it because it deals damage. I mean, it has flying, but destroy target creature. This one could be a maybe. Oh, actually, I did think later on some of these here. This one's a maybe. This one is yes, but this one's probably going to get replaced. I did like it. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, but it's for 3. And it has flying, so that's the evasiveness I like on that. But I have a replacement in this that I think is going to work better. So we're going to put that down here. And we might put the Imp down here as well. And maybe Pilgrim's Eye. We'll see. I got a lot of stuff to mess with here. So, and then Spire Owl, another Owl, and then a Ninja. Okay. So that's the stuff of... Can you fake the Neon Glow Ink cards? Fake them. Oh, wait, I got more on here. Do you have Baron, Tolarian, and Archmage? He would really be good. I don't know what that one is. Now you're wanting... I got to look that up. hang on a second here. I don't know that one offhand. I'm not the Stump the Smith savant. Normally I do get a lot of that once I get the name out. Tolarian Archmage. Let's check that out. Arch. So it's, let me pull them over here so you guys can, so no, you won't be able to see it because I don't have that up. Display capture. That's how I can get you guys to see it. Let's do that quick. All right. I'm going to move things around here so you guys can see what Mr. Paul is talking about here. We are going to minimize. No. We're going to hide my camera. And there you go. Okay. So when Baron enters the battlefield, return up to one target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your... Oh, yeah. That isn't a bad one. I kind of dig where that's going. Fuck this Smith Savant, thanks. That might not be a bad... Okay, so when it enters the battlefield, return up one to target creature or planeswalker to his owner's hand. So you could do that to somebody else's. That's a pretty good bounce with that. I think I have him too. So that might be a good spot. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was... So here's the thing with it all. I typically screw myself because of draw. And that is actually why this card... Oh, yeah, I don't have that going here. Let's see. I like this one, though. I think I might... this is going to possibly make it onto the sideboard of maybe testing it out. Let me get back to my camera here. Okay. So where I've screwed... Where Yuriko, when I mess Yuriko up, is when I set the top, and then there's so much draw, like so many things I can draw with, and then I end up drawing the card that I just set the top with. I'm not saying... I think this might be a good card to have in here because you can bounce something... My only problem with it is it doesn't have any evasion with him. So when he comes in, if he's my only one coming in, it's kind of taking a spot unless somebody's open. But it's a possibility. Let's go through some things quick. What should I start first with? Should I start first with like changing out the lands? I mean, these are for sure's on the top, not draw. Yeah, you want more control. Yeah, for sure. That's the problem I've run into with it is I've had a perfect setup and then I draw the card. I'm like, fuck. I was just about to kill you and now I just drew the card that I was going to kill you with. So yeah, I think it's a possibility, but all right, let's do some of the switch outs first and then we'll do the upgrades after. Draco. Which Draco? Malfoy? That was a bad joke. Where's my want-wants? I gotta see my buttons. I don't have my buttons ready. There we go. Okay, so let's see what cards I was thinking about getting rid of. So I already talked about Stinkwood. Pilgrim's Eye is not probably gonna go. I like this one a lot because it's giving me ramp here. Sky Scanner Might, Evacuation because it's returning mine as well. I was using that to be like, oh, mine are so low casting cost. I've not cast this really before because it just, unless it's like in a pinch. Cunning Evasion I thought was going to be really good because I was like, oh, I'll just attack with all my creatures, even the ninjas, and if they block them, then I'll just bounce them to my hand. But I've never been able to get this to work the way I want it, so I'm kind of just, I think I'm going to get rid of this. A ninja, filthy little mudblood. This ninja I think I might want to get rid of. It's a nice foil guy. A lot of these are foil because they're one of the specs that I hit on when Yuriko got spoiled. Went after all the foil ninjas, the old school ones. So I made quite a bit.
Oh, good for you.
Off of that. So the ninjutsu's nice, but it's just hitting somebody's graveyard. That can be good in Commander. I just haven't used it that much with Graveyard Hate. I normally like removing a whole graveyard, but so I'm thinking about taking him out. The Smoke Shaper, what is his? Target creature you control gains indestructible. Haven't had to use that. This would be fun, but it's really when an opponent loses life. I mean, this still might make it in there. This one will go up here. It's like second to maybe getting cut. Because you're doing all that surround damage with Yuriko and then gaining all that life from all that damage. That could be brutal. This guy's got to go. I did it because of the evasion. You get 2 creatures that have evasion with it. And then if you can make tap 2 artifacts. You control target creature. Can't be blocked this turn. So it does have some, gives things unblockable, which is nice. It just hasn't worked out the way I wanted to with that. And Devastation Tide, it's returning all non-land permanents. Yeah, that one just almost hurts me more. The 16 CMC Dragon. Oh, yeah. So the thing about the ones that I have in here, the reason why those split cards are in is because they are still usable cards. So the 16 would just basically sit in my hand. I used to have... Wait, hang on. My sideboard's over here. Let me show you that. I didn't even show you these guys. So this off, I don't know if I'm going to get that in there, but this guy was in there. Deep Sea Kraken, 10. It just a lot of times was a dead card in my hand. It was more trying to get that 10 damage to everybody. And so I ended up taking that out. Keeper of the Keys might make it back in because it gets that Monarch, which I really like. I'll check the Discord really quick at that. Oh yeah. I know that one. The Drake, the artifact one. Yeah. So Keeper of the Keys actually still is a good sideboard one where it might make it back in if things are not doing well. But what I wanted to show you really quick was those split cards. The split cards are still usable. So even if they're not dead cards in my hand. So Never Return, it has destroy target creature or planeswalker. So I have a little bit of removal right there, and then it's Aftermath. Yeah, I've never cast that, but exile target card from a graveyard. I get a 2/2 zombie. Most likely I can use this first one. So this isn't a dead card if it stays in my hand. Commit to Memory. Put target spell or non-land permanent into their owner's library second from the top. That's pretty amazing in this. You know, you can bounce something. You can bounce a spell. It has a little bit of protection built on it. So this one is definitely a usable card. And it's at instant speed. Let me look at the other splits there. I think there's 2 more if I remember right. What I said. Let's see. Let's see. Return non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So there's a bounce part to it. The discarding never used. But the first part, definitely bouncing stuff. And then... Is that it? 3. Okay. So like the big guys, they're still usable. And that's why I don't want to just put like huge, Blightsteel Colossus or anything in here because it's just like, I'm not going to use those very often. So that's why this deck does pretty well because everything's usable and low casting cost. There are some bigger ones, but it acts like a counterspell as well. Yep. Okay. So let me go through some of the cards that I'm thinking about. So let's count how many we had here. So these were possibilities, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potentially that I need to switch in and out. March of the Swirling Mist. Let's see if I can get these higher up there. So this one is up to X creatures phase out. So, and it's 2 less. What is it? Additional casting cost? You may exile a number of blue cards from your hand. So I could just exile a blue card, tap 1, and I could phase out 2 things. This could be for protection, or if I want to get through with my ninjas, this can phase out a crap ton of stuff. So this is a for sure probably taking the spot of Evacuation is probably what I'm thinking there, because that's more of the point of what I want to happen with Evacuation. Biting Palm Ninja. So this one's an iffy one. This one I might not put in here, but I did want to talk about it. Access Denied is a cool new counterspell that makes flyers. Oh. You know what I'm going to do is have a little notepad next to me. When you guys make some suggestions, I'm going to write them down, and I might check them out. I'll look at it here in just a second. Access denied. But I don't like counterspells. If it made ninjas, then I'd be all for it. Okay, so this one I don't like I like it, I guess, but you basically, whenever it deals combat damage, I can remove a menace counter. So not only does it have ninjutsu, but it enters the battlefield with a menace counter, so that gives a little bit of evasion to it. And then if I remove that counter, I can reveal, that player reveals their hand. I choose a non-land card from it. I can exile it. So it kind of gets rid of their hand a little bit. This one I'm on, so I'm going to kind of keep that over here. For sure, Kaido is going in there. I freaking love this card. So he makes an unblockable ninja and then phases out and then comes back in. You can draw cards, you can discard cards, or draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. So you're attacking, you don't have to discard. This card is just a must in here. So this is definitely going in. What is it going to replace? So this could be one of the ninjas that I had because it's kind of taking over that spot. Let's replace it with this one because we get less of a CMC on that. I'm going to get rid of the deck that I had. Things that we're not going to be dealing with anymore, just so we can kind of see everything out. And I'll move these guys over to the side for now. We'll get to the lands after. Okay, so we're going to replace that one with that one. We'll replace this one with this one. I don't want to change it yet until I get everything done here. So here's the one that I was talking about is going to replace that drawing flyer because not only is it's a 1-drop, flying, 1/1, fairy wizard. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2. That is just straight up better than Skyscanner. Skyscanner's 3. 3 to come out for a 1/1 flyer. You draw a card. Larry and I kind of say, and I think it's known, is that scrying 1 is like a half a draw. So in theory, scry 2 is like drawing a card. So it's doing the same thing as this, but it's scrying. So I'm able to set the top. If I'm like, oh shit, yeah, the top is perfect. I want this card next and whatever. I do that. Or if it's crap, you just scry it out and put it down to the bottom. So and it's a turn one flyer. So this is like a for sure replacement right there. Upgrade. Okay, so Moon Snare Specialist. When it enters battlefield, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. So this one was very similar to the other ninja. Not similar. I guess it was more similar to that ninja. Maybe I was thinking more along the cunning evasion one. This one's a maybe too. We're going to kind of put him here. I don't know where he's going to go yet, what spot they're taking. Kind of want to go through them all. The ones I know for sure, we'll put up there. Okay, so Dakuchi. I should get the kid can't even. Lowry can do that. Dakuchi Silencer. So when it deals combat damage to a player, you may discard a creature card. When you do, destroy target creature. So this is a little bit of removal. I like that on this because sometimes you can. It's that player control, so it would be a tapped creature. Yes, that was not in my collector's box. He was in my Fat Pack. The what do they call it now? It's not Fat Pack. The bundle. So that bundle I bought at Target last week or a week and a half ago. It was better than my collector box, but he was in there. So, good for me.
Oh, good for you.
Okay, so this is good removal. A little bit of good removal on him because I do always end up having creatures in my hand. So that's probably going to make its way in there. The Whale Wolf. This is nice because it's unblockable. When it leaves the battlefield, it deals X damage to target player, and I gain X life where its power. So most of the time, almost every time, it's going to be 2 life, 2 life, 2 life. It's unblockable. 3. I'm iffy on this guy going in. For sure iffy on him. Fat Pack Fat Pack. That's what they're called. That's what they should be called. I don't know why they changed it. Maybe because it says fat in it. I don't know. Okay. He's a must. Like it's just now it is going against the drawing part that we've talked about, but drawing's not bad. You still want to have draw in there, but giving ninjutsu to everything. And then anytime you ninjutsu, you're going to draw, like he's just amazing. So let's say, So we got evasion dude there. We got a little bit of evasion dude there. We're drawing. Is there anything we want to get rid of with drawing in it? 3 casting. I guess we'll do it with the imp. It's not the same but I think that's probably my replacement. So 3 for 3. I've already gone down CMC there, down there, and down there. So we're sitting pretty so far. And this deck is really nice with CMC as is. So everything is better. Yeah, my collector box is crap. I shouldn't hate on it though, because another good for you was the Strixhaven. When I got those mystical archives, I pulled that demonic tutor, the Japanese foil one. So that was a
good for you.
That was a good collector box. That last one was just straight up garbage. Okay. So this guy giving 1+1 to my ninjas. Hey, we like that. That makes more damage. Also costs the ninjutsus to cost 1 less. Pfft, for sure. He's getting in there. What ninja is he taking out? He is going to take out 1 for 1. We're getting rid of him for him. I think those two work out pretty good. So this one, I love this one. So this is ramp here, right here. Whenever 1 or more ninjas or rogue creatures you control deal combat damage. So it's not going to do for all your ninjas, but you're going to get a treasure every time. You're going to gain more mana. So this for sure is going in there. What is it going to take out though? Pilgrim's Eye, I guess it could, but I'd like to go ninja for ninja if possible. I want to try to keep Pilgrim's Eye in if I can. I'm going to get rid of Cunning Evasion for it. We're a little bit higher, but this has the ninjutsu, which is 2, and that's what this is. So that's where I'm going to go with that one. This was the card I was waiting for to get in the mail before I did this video. I was going to do it last week, but I didn't have him yet. He makes Baron a ninja. Oh, draw. Yeah. So Nashi, Moon Sage's Scion. So it's 4. So it's a higher ninjutsu. But when it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. That's including yourself. Till end of turn, you may play one of those cards. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equals. So you don't even have to pay mana. Like, you're free. Or you're just using land. Like, this is a no-brainer to go in there as well. Let's get rid of this guy for that. I think that works out pretty good. And this was a late potential. I don't think I'm going to put it in. I just wanted to kind of show it because it is a brainstorm with an artifact. So, because it's Brainstone. But basically for 3, it does the effect that Brainstorm does. I don't think I'm going to use that. I'm going to kind of keep that off to the side. So what we have left here, we have for sure 1 slot I want to get rid of. Exquisite Blood is a potential and Pilgrim's Eye is a potential. Now, do any of these for sure come in here? I'm going to get rid of Whale Wolf. I don't think I want to put that in. That one will go on the sideboard. It's been sitting in my sideboard for a while. So I don't know. He just never makes it into the deck because for 3, he can't be blocked, which is nice. It's just the 2/2 isn't really going to do much, and I don't have anything that's pumping my creatures. So I'd rather have draw or setting the top or something like that. And so I don't think that one's going to make it in. All right, so we have ninja left. Things that I'm losing here is some of the higher casting costs, so that is damage that I'm losing. That's a 4/3. Oh, it's Pilgrim's Eye. I feel like I need to keep Pilgrim's Eye in, so we're going to keep him down there. Which one of these don't I want? When it deals combat damage to player, you may discard a creature card. If you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker that player controls. It could be sneaky that coming in, so it's only 2. Enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. It's not every time it attacks. This, at least, whenever it's dealing damage, you're going to be having this effect happen. I like the menace on him. I think we're going to get rid of the bouncing. I think we'll do that. We'll move that over into the sideboard thingy. Okay, so now battlefield with a menace counter. It's just getting rid of a card out of their hand. And it is when it deals combat damage. Oh, no, it's only when you remove the menace counter. So, again, it's one-time thing. But with ninjas, you could bounce this to your hand and do it multiple times. What is more important? Because I feel like I want to keep Exquisite Blood because that can really be a big swing and it can do some damage with the 5 there. So I think I'm going to do that. I almost want to do this for some removal. It isn't that good in the deck, Pilgrim's Eye, but it does give me a little bit of ramp of a deck that doesn't have a lot of ramp. I think it's better than what I have with the ninjas here. I'd rather keep bringing land in, I guess, and it has evasion. Problem with the ninjas, what happens is you get them in with the ninjutsu, and then you're kind of just like, if you don't have a way to keep them, unblocked, then you're waiting for your other creatures. So you don't want to go too heavy with ninjas. You don't want to just be all ninjas because then you have to have other cards that are making them all unblockable. So I like having a mix of things that have ETB effects or when they leave the battlefield effects, so that I'm getting lots of value off of them. And it really does well. And Pilgrim's Eye has done really well for me in the past. So I do like keeping them in there. I guess I think I'm going to go with the removal because it just adds a little bit more and it can be a one-time thing. I do end up bouncing, when this is ninjutsuing, you're bringing a creature back to your hand. So if there really is something, a problem on the board, that you can get rid of that problem right there. Okay, so that is, I think those are my switches. Keeping these in there, so I'm putting those back. Now, and Brainstone, I'll keep that over here too. So this is so I keep my sideboard in like the 10, 15 cards in here of cards that I could play. And then I have my tokens, which should show with the blinging. I got to add that in there because that is a new bling token. So that is getting in with the tokens now. Oh, good for me. You would pull out for Fabled Passage or Prismatic Vista mainly because Pilgrim's Eye puts the land into hand. Yeah, but it's getting me that land. For Fabled Passage or Prismatic. I have both of Fabled and Prismatic in here, I think. Or maybe I don't. Maybe that was one of the things I do need to add in here. There's my... Oh, no, I think I do have those in. But I have... These are the ones I was going to... These are my upgrades. I was getting rid of Evolving Wilds because that shouldn't be in here. So let's go with the upgrades really quick. Actually, let's do my switches. So he's going in. He's going in. We can all go in. That's the boring part. Watching me put this in. I'll do this kind of quick. And I do not double sleeve. I probably should. But a lot of my stuff is proxies if it's over $5. So that's why I don't typically double sleeve. Now this is obviously more than that. Some of the stuff I'm putting in here. And actually, I do make proxies of things. But this was a spec. The things I bought here were cheaper than $5 when I bought them. They are way over that now. A lot of those are foils, all the ninjas, the old school ones. So, okay. So those are my switches. Hey, thanks, advertiser or spammer. All right. So that's that. Let's do the upgrades. So 1 for 1. We're going to get rid of this guy and put in this guy because it's foil and it's old border. Look at that. All right. I love, these are my favorite lands. These are my favorite lands, unstable lands by far. And that's why this whole deck is all of the unstable ones. But these just fit so much better. So we're going to put all these in. Plus, I am going to remove a couple of the basics and put in these. These are the 2 new ones, and then I like the blue castle in there. So let's get these guys in. Let's check this out. We have 1, 2, got Evolving Wilds. Now this isn't my whole land base. These are just the basics and Evolving Wilds. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 and 8. We know we're a little bit higher on the blue. So this is going to take a blue. That's going to take a blue. Actually, we'll probably take a Evolving Wilds, right? Or am I doing it this way? 2 blue. There's a blue. There's a blue. These should not come into play tapped unless Castle is like one of my first cards. So we got 2 blue there. 1 black there. So this is going to even me out to 8 and 8. Yeah. Hey, bro. How's it going? So we're going to go... The foils will get in there for sure. So I got rid of 2. So I need 6 more. So I got 3 of those. I got more foils coming in the mail. So when those come in, I'll definitely switch those in. So we got 3 of those. 3 non-foils for the blue. And then for black, I got 2 black there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's my favorite by far. Okay. So there's my upgrades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. That is the upgrades. So we're going to take all those out. Now these are double sleeve because I loved these lands. And they're worth a lot. I don't know. No, they were $5 at one point. I don't know if they're still the same at this point. So yeah, the unstable lands are my favorite. And I'm excited for the new unset lands. Those will probably become one of my favorites too. I love land. Basics that's the way I pimp out, because I don't with expensive cards, because those get into proxies, and basic lands are my way of pimping out my decks. So the new Unfinity ones will definitely find a place, and that's probably what I'm going to start doing is going through all my decks, and because there's so many different basics now, full art basics, and I like the full arts, by the way. And I could basically do each deck have a different type of basic. All right, let's get rid of Evolving Wild. That was exactly what I was going for. How many fetches do you find yourself wanting to shuffle even when you... Yeah, I know. I don't have... You're right. Actually, Paul, you might be onto something there. Let's see. How many fetches? I don't want to shuffle a lot because I am setting a lot. So we have Drowned Catacomb, Path of Ancestry. So that has the scry on it. So that's important. I don't know if I necessarily need that one. Oh, no, I do. Because bouncing those other lands, Skylands, any of the lands that allow me to set my top... what's the other one that I had in here? The blue one. There's a few of them that set it. So this is actually good because then I can do it multiple times. So that's why I like that in there. I don't normally play with those. Urborg, Sunken Hollow. That might get out of there. I think I had this in because I don't have a lot of ramp in this deck. Underground Sea. There's a Scryland. Scry. Command Tower. Scry. I guess I should have pointed that out when I was going through the first time. Battle Bond land. Helmhard Depths, so kind of like a scry in a way. Setting the top. I might not have any fetches. And that might be because of that reason. Unblockable, legendary. Oh, there's a fetch. I have a regular in-color fetch. And this isn't even my art for proxy. This is how old this is. And then the duel of Unblockable and Reliquary Tower. So only one fetch. So that's a very good point, Paul. That's probably what I did on purpose because I'm setting the top that I didn't put a lot of fetches in here. And I am finding out, like I said, lately, because I hadn't played for a while, and then I play Yuriko, and then I'm like, all right, set this top. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll draw a card. No! I don't want to draw a card. As you can see, there's no like system to my stuff. This one isn't double sleeved. These other ones were. I think this one might be. Most of my unstables were. It's not. I'm not a cheater. That one's not. It's just I don't. The expensive ones I'll sometimes try to double sleeve, but. All right. I think that's it. What are we at for time? Oh, geez, 41 minutes. Holy crap. I think those are solid upgrades in here. I'm very excited to play this now. Like when you change out like 10 cards, I didn't change out 10. I changed out 9, I think it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11 with the lands. It's almost like a new deck in a way sometimes when you do that. This was more upgrades. Exchanged. I added in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ninjas. I got rid of. I didn't get rid of that many. 1, 2 ninjas. So hopefully I didn't go too crazy with the ninjas, but the things that they took over weren't necessarily evasive cards. Sky Scanner was evasive, but it changed with the Seer, so that was a 1-for-1 there. So you won't beat this deck, Dempsey. Don't even think about it, buddy. All right, well that should do it, gang. We'll be on Sunday for proxy time again. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I have some. Larry brought up an idea for proxies, by the way. I don't want to reveal it yet because there's going to be kind of cool with the dual lands. He had a really good idea, and so I'm working on it. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it might turn out pretty sweet. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll debut that this week, but I'm still working on how I want to do things. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend.